Hola, compañeros papadafílicos. Estamos en Metal Gear Solid. Me apetecía... Está un poco torcido. Me apetecía traeros un clasicazo hoy. Lamentablemente no está en castellano, pero bueno, por lo menos tiene subtítulos en inglés, aunque sea. Creo que están activados. Bueno, como veis, las opciones son de emulador. No hay muchas opciones que escoger, la verdad. Vamos a cambiar la resolución un poquito, que creo que estaba por debajo de lo que podía. Vosotros lo veréis bien, pero yo lo voy a ver en 4 tercios, ¿de acuerdo? Vosotros lo vais a ver en 16 novenos, a diferencia de mí. Actualice esto luego. Así que vamos a darle. Voy a tener que cambiar la cámara, por cierto. Vale, ahora está un poquito más grande de lo que debería. Vamos a dejar esto porque forma parte de la introducción. Espectacular resolución. Lo voy a hacer un poco más pequeñito. Ahí. Creo que así.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound, your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're
Vale.
still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in
No,
this
espérate, ya me han lanzado. No lo hemos perdido. Vale, un segundito. Creo que lo puedo dejar un poquito más clavado. Ahí mejor. Esa ya es la cosa. Vale, lo voy a cerrar y lo voy a volver a abrir para que veamos la cinemática inicial, que es importante para entender un poquito de qué va esto. Y luego miraremos las grabaciones que hay que le hacen, que interrogan a Solid Snake antes de obligarlo, ¿no? A realizar esta misión. Buena. Ah, no ha aparecido, no sé muy bien por qué. Justamente, quería que lo vierais. En el briefing creo que no forma parte. Esto es antes de lo que se ve en la cinemática
It's been a
inicial.
long time, Snake.
I should have known you were behind this, Colonel.
That's no way to greet an old war buddy, Snake.
What do you want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you. But we've got a serious
Como le han dado un
situation
porrazo,
here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
You will take these orders. I know it.
Excuse me.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't
Muy
hurt.
importante esta inyección que le ponen inicialmente.
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
Snake, listen up. It all went down 5 hours ago. Heavily armed soldiers occupied Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
Next Generation Special Forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and the president of ArmsTech, Kenneth Baker. They're both being held as hostages.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do. Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
Vale, y esto es lo que vamos a ver en adelante. Briefing file. Vale, lo que me gustaría ver de todas maneras...
Colonel,
Bueno, esto es al cerrarlo por algún motivo, pero vale. ¿No puedo hacer que salga otra vez la cinemática del principio? Debería salir. Ahora. Ahora sí. Va, esto es lo que quería enseñaros. Dios, las profundidades de la Play 1, los polígonos. Las corrientes de marea. Corrientes acuáticas. Estamos en un submarino.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours,
Los restos de The Big
they'll
Boss.
launch a
The
nuclear
Big Boss,
weapon.
si no lo sabéis, es el personaje principal que se lleva en Metal Gear Solid 3.
First, you're to rescue
Bueno, en Metal Gear
DARPA
3,
Chief
mejor
Donald
dicho.
Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
Lo que nos dice la primera entrevista
what's the insertion
al
method?
traer el briefing.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then,
Lo van a lanzar como un
Launch a
torpedo.
one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
Nadar en aguas de Alaska, Qué bien, qué ganas.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
so they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman.
Y por
And
último,
Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual,
Nope.
this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
soy un hombre de un ejército de un solo hombre. Y llegamos al menú. Vale. Briefing. ¿Me tengo que tragar esta otra vez? No. Esta ya la hemos visto, la primera que hemos visto antes. Infiltration method.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon disposal facility.
The disposal...
Nope. No era esto lo que quería hacer. Quería cambiar de cámara.
The nuclear weapon disposal facility.
No se puede cambiar de
disposal
cámara.
facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
we'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons
Abdominales, que tiene nuestro
facility
amigo
covers
solito.
the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Vale. Esto también nos lo dicen en la cinemática inicial. Vale, tiempo de límite que tenemos.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
¿Cuántas
They
han
say
pasado?
what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the target.
When did the countdown start?
5 hours ago.
Quedan 19. Vale. Miembros de la operación. Ahí está la cámara free. ¡No! Siempre me equivoco de botón. Ahí.
Colonel, who are you speaking for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the President must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point they're still video conferencing with each other.
Claro, porque había coronavirus. Tienen que mantener las distancias.
Not yet.
Lo hacen por
The
videoconferencia.
Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
Ok.
We need backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know.
Lo tenemos.
That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko.
Ucraniana,
She'll be
30 años.
providing you backup by codec.
A female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor for the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
At her home in Los Angeles.
California. Seems like a million miles away.
Tenemos nuestra especialista en armas nucleares. Roy Campbell. Nuestro amigo y vecino
Colonel,
Roy
you're
Campbell.
retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that really the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy liar. Tell me the real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is
Su
being
sobrina,
held
Meryl.
hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
Ay, que tan secuestrado a la sobrina. Meryl.
What was your niece doing here?
Luego se enamoran bastante fuertemente.
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War. Since then, I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm
Ha,
just an old
ha recibido
man
psicoterapia
now,
para que no
and I'm
se
your
sienta
friend.
atraída hacia el sexo
Since
opuesto.
when are we friends?
I've thought of us as friends since the fall of Zanzibar.
No salió muy bien, ¿eh? No se hizo muy bien la
With my
psicoterapia.
personality, I don't have too many friends.
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes you human. Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have two conditions.
Name them.
One, no more secrets between us. I want
Dios,
complete
te vas a llevar
disclosure at all
una
times.
decepción,
And two,
Snake.
I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing,
What?
I'm not a colonel anymore. Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand,
Colonel.
Colonel.
Qué mono. ¿Cómo se dan palmaditas en la espalda? Doctora Naomi.
That doctor, is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse. I'm a scientist.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of nanomachines and an anti-freezing peptide so that your blood and other bodily fluids don't freeze, even at subarctic temperatures.
Nanomachines?
Not just one kind, either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
Buena dieta.
Now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter, huh? Anything else?
Yes. Benzedrine. It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
Pones una de estas para tener el móvil siempre cargado. Lo cargas con tu electricidad estática. Vale. Tenemos la operación y información detallada. Rehenes. Los dos que tengo que salvar. El jefe de
The chief
la
of
compañía
DARPA and
DARPA.
the president of an arms manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they testing some kind of new advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
Armas nucleares.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Was the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so. At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL.
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapons systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
Because the DARPA chief knows the detonation code.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you have enough money and the right connections.
Pues sí. No hay nada como tener dólares para comprarte un jet privado y estamparlo contra un edificio.
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
Lo que piden los terroristas. Los restos de The Big Boss.
So what exactly are they demanding?
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project. They've been mapping the human genome, and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes, and using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, we can remove those genes which we know may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay.
Es como un niño
So if
probeta.
you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
Big Boss.
One of the greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his
Este señor
incredible
es
combat
el Snake
skills.
de
So
Metal
far,
Gear
we've discovered
3.
about 60 of the so-called
El del
soldier
Peace
genes.
Walker.
So his body was recovered after all.
Y el primero del
His cells
Phantom
have
Pain.
remained
El primero,
frozen in a
el
cryochamber. His genomic information is a priceless
de antes
treasure
del
to
juego,
mankind.
Priceless
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
El de
His
que antes
body
sale del
was burned
hospital.
severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
You people are amazing. And then you're gonna transplant those genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't give them his body. It's potentially more dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss?
Buen nombre. Y realmente no... No están mintiendo. Liquid por lo menos lo es. Un clon, pero no deja de convertirlo en el hijo.
Tell me about these next generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units, technical escort units, and the nuclear emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer Heaven.
After that, they were merged with our
Outer
OTRAS
Heaven.
unit Force
Outer
21,
Heaven es la base que te
retrained.
construyes en el Peace Walker, en el Metal Gear Peace Walker, el de la PSP.
Should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real
Era la base
battle
esa que te
experience.
construías.
Video game players, huh?
Don't forget they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I thought using genetically modified soldiers was prohibited by international law.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
The interesting thing is that nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
Venga, va. Enséñame las unidades de Fox
How
Hunt.
could an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The son's a big boss. But if they were regular Army, they must have been interviewed periodically by Army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No. Several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Dios, son todos superdotados. Han ido a Harvard, ya.
Genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We've been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
Las unidades de Foxhound.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise.
Este señor nos peleamos con él cuando están invisibles en un ascensor.
And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter.
Looks like a lovely bunch of folks.
And finally, in charge of them,
Tu hermano gemelo.
Squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man with the same codename as you.
Tell me what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS. His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate Western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
But he never once showed his face in Century House. He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
Rescatado por quién?
Real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's a photo of him.
Los igualitos.
Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
Como que sois clones del mismo individuo.
I don't know the details, but it seems so. That's why we really need you for this mission.
Sois clones de Big
You're
Boss.
the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
Y la última cinta
I
antes
need
de
to borrow
irnos.
your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Cortarse el pelo.
Don't worry, just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
Se ha cortado la melena. Yo soy incapaz, ¿eh? Que me confundan. Además, me serviría para infiltrarme. New game. Normal. Vamos allá. Y ahora justo es cuando nos infiltramos a través del agua. David Hayter.
going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
Se puede ocupar de algunas moscas molestas.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Guay.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Vale. Miraba que los controles estuvieran bien mapeados. Vamos a coger esta ración de por aquí. Por aquí había otra. Arriba, pero no puedo subir, ¿no? Vale. Hace gracia que camine por debajo del agua en vez de nadar. Vale, tendría que cambiar la cámara de sitio. Porque allí tenemos... Está el radar. No, no era esto que quería mover. Ahí. Lo pondremos por aquí. Vale. Vale, perfecto. Lo pondremos ahí, que no moleste. Que se vea el radar. Tampoco lo puedo poner en las esquinas. Joder, no me acordaba de que es peor que con el Watch Dogs esto. A dormir. ¿Tiene alguien? Bueno, eres pesadito. ¿Ya? Voy a ponerme la ración por si acaso, yo qué sé. Pero creo que aquí no vienen más refuerzos, solo están estos dos. Fuera de aquí, en cuanto suene la alarma, ya me puedo esconder, porque respawnean y aparecen constantemente. Hay que esperar a que baje.
Snake, there's an elevator there you can take up to the ground. You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You better hide somewhere.
Sí, señor.
Snake, don't forget this is a covert operation. There are lots of bad guys and only one of you. If you're spotted, you'll be surrounded before you know it.
If that happens, you're finished.
First, go to the elevator in the back, take it up to the ground floor, then look for the DARPA chief.
Vale. Pues vamos a esperar a que baje el ascensor. ¿Va a bajar en algún momento? Venga, baja, tú puedes. Gracias. Nada más baja con un soldadito para que lo termine de reventar. dónde te vas? ¿De aquí? Pues tienes que estar pegado, para poder partirle el cuello. Estamos a full de vida. Pues ahora para arriba. Vámonos. Qué morritos tiene con el casco. Míralo, míralo, solito Snake. Joder, mi putísimo padre. Es un grande. Leyenda viva. Crack, máquina leyenda, mastodonte torbellino. Fiera tifón número 1. Míralo. Dios. Mira esos abdominales. Tiene abdominales hasta donde no hay abdominales. Pues no debe llevar el traje ceñido. Los copitos de nieve en forma de cuadrados. Me los podría comer como cereales.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Ah, vale, esas eran las moscas molestas por las que se iba Liquid Snake.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed.
Se va a cargar los dos aviones que han mandado él solito con un helicóptero.
There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet.
La asiática
This is
girl.
Rayling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
Míralo,
You
cómo
just
cómo
flattered
mete
me.
fichas,
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't
Cómo tira la caña.
hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system.
Cuéntame, algo que no
The bright
sepa.
dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to
Sí,
the gene
ya.
therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Está vivo,
Snake,
no
your
os
radar isn't
preocupéis.
affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Se han adelantado
It's all
las
based on
letras.
currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec
En
anytime
resumen,
you
que
want.
zonas con alta frecuencia el radar no funciona.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving
Como me ha
data.
guiñado el ojo,
Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll
Opa.
hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach.
Ah, muy
Thanks
bien.
to
Se
the
llevaron los
shot you gave me to
cigarrillos.
suppress my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
Sí.
I can't
Voy a
just
tocar a la
knock on the
puerta.
door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
Pero desde aquí no se puede ver, evidentemente, porque estamos a un nivel por debajo.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Bueno. Vamos a molestar a Mailing un rato, ¿vale?
What can I do for you, Snake?
Vamos a guardar. ¿Sí?
Snake, remember what the Gauls said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all
Ah, pero si
alone
me
and
sensé
surrounded
jugando
by
uno de los
bad
mejores
guys.
juegos de la puta historia,
Try to be
totalmente.
careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow.
Llegas en el
You
mejor
know all sorts
momento,
of great
JD.
things,
Vamos
don't you?
a molestar a Mailing.
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China.
Ahora nos cuenta un
But I
poquito
was
su
born and
vida.
raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it. What is it, Snake? Good luck, Snake.
Se viene, ¿eh?
What is it, Snake? You called Snake?
No.
Come on, Snake. Don't call me for no reason.
Dios, cómo te voy a spamear a llamadas. Le va a petar una vena. Hay una en la que te saca la lengua y todo. Mira, aquí ya está del palo. ¿Me saca la lengua aquí? Todavía no. Ya ni me saluda. Ahí está. A Campbell se la suda, le suda la polla que le haga eso. Y cuidado. Tenemos por arriba. Oh, oh. Creía que la salida estaba más arriba. No pasa nada. Estoy bastante lejos. Hemos pillado todo esto. Unas chaff, ¿no? Sí. Para deshabilitar dispositivos electrónicos.
A surveillance camera?
Han de dar unos 450 puntos muy gratuitos. 450... Uy. ¿450 puntos de qué? Uy. Permíteme que te aparta el cuello. Pero pedazo de subnormal. Prefiero que me mate porque quiero recuperar las granadas. Ah, sí, claro. Vaya, te he noqueado. Al final te he noqueado. Estaba aquí la SOCOM, ¿no? Mira. Tengo mis dudas de si voy a recuperar. De si voy a recuperar las granadas. Porque las he gastado, porque me las he quitado. Y cuando me han tumbado estaban otra vez. A ver. Vale, no tenemos nada, ok. Bueno, prefiero no tener nada y tener que volverlo a coger que tener que malgastarlo de nuevo.
A surveillance camera?
Dime que también jugarás Metal... No, el 3 no. Jugaré el 2 y el 1. Pero el 3 no. Porque no está en el GOG, creo. Estaba en el 1 y el 2, pero el 3 creo que no estaba. Además de que el 3 ya cambia completamente el estilo de juego, ya no es el mismo. El 1 y el 2 siguen con esta misma fórmula de radares y puntos de visión, pero el 3 ya cambia totalmente. Por aquí. No me has visto, no me mientas. Ah. Dios, que viene. Ya está. Hasta luego. Vale, eso es la salida, por aquí no hay nada, ¿no? Vale. Ok.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller.
¿Qué pasa, Liquid Snake? Qué guapo el disfraz que me llevas, crack.
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you. So call me if you have any questions.
El 3 fue mi favorito y donde gracias a uno de los personajes me volví un pajero de culto. Bueno. Se queda guardada, vale. Con Diva, ¿no? ¿Diva se llamaba la del 3? No me acuerdo. Eva.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Meryl, la nieta de...
Did something happen?
De
There's an
Campbell.
intruder.
Really?
He's already done 3 people.
He's killed 3 people?
Yeah.
Yo no he sido.
Say he's using stealth, too.
Stealth? There's an intruder besides me?
Anyway, I want you to increase the security detail on the chief.
Vale. Acabo de dar que en Steam está Metal Gear Rising. Creo que me acabo de correr. No sabías, pero salió en Steam de salida, ¿eh? Llevaba ahí desde que salió. Del 2015 creo que es. Tengo suficientes raciones. ¿Me han pegado? Me han pegado un par de tiros. Voy a pillar eso. Abajo.
Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Ya sé dónde está, no te preocupes. No se preocupe, señor Campbell. Bueno, voy a tirar una chaff. Porque me va a salir gratis, básicamente. Esto de nivel 2. Está abierto. Esto creo que son la mira de infrarrojos. No, la termal. Vale. ¿Os gusta esta speedrun que me estoy haciendo? Esto de nivel 1. Dios, cómo te voy a partir el puto cuello, ¿eh? Bastante ilegal cuando hacen eso, pero en fin. Foro de la pata, ahí va. Foro de la patata, es particular. No sé dónde se habrá ido el otro, ¿eh? Uf, uf. Casi. Va a venir hacia aquí, así que... Ay, Dios mío. Dios, hay que hacerlo clavado, a la perfección. Joder. Puto, vamos haciendo un speedrun. Siendo sincero, todos los Metal Gears que juego me los juego con 7 añitos más o menos. Por eso nunca me pasé uno. ¿No? A ver, sobre todo porque en esa época estaba todo en inglés. Que yo me lo tuve que pasar en inglés igual, ¿no? Pero... que sí, que no me la torres, Campbell, hermano, ya lo sé. Tengo que ir a coger las... la miera térmica otra vez. A ver si les puedo partir el cuello sin que me vea, que no gano nada. Pero yo qué sé. Me gusta la costumbre de quitarme a la gente de en medio. Son solo 2, pero joder, que 2. Ay. Luego cuando ya tienes la SOCOM con el silenciador, ya es otra cosa, pero... Pero ¿por qué te has dado la vuelta? Que me lo expliquen. Ya, qué raro. A veces cuando te ven donde te escondes te suelen tirar granadas. Ahora tenemos un problema y es que... no sé dónde están. Vale. Doy la vuelta, ¿eh? Vale. Ahora. Vale, uno menos. Te vas a dar la vuelta, ¿verdad? ¿No? Ok. Dios santo, tío. Van a aparecer los dos otra vez. ¿O no? A ver. Ah, pues nos ha aparecido uno. ¿Cómo vas a venir para acá, Bueno, es igual, dejémonos estar. Vamos a coger el ascensor. Que total no gano nada matándolo. Y lo de allí es de nivel 1, no puedo acceder aún. Hasta luego. No, pero ahora que soy el Chuck Norris de los videojuegos me pasaré uno. Pasaremos el primero juntos. Y el segundo. Míralo, ahí está.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
Mei-Ling, no es por nada, pero eso no es un punto verde, es un cuadrado enorme. Te voy a tener que mandar a clase de geometría, Bueno, todos somos cuadrados realmente. Ya sé cómo subir por una escalera, no hace falta que me lo digas. No. Vale. Y a veces cuando te metes en un conducto de estos, detrás hay una ration y full de vida, ¿no? Sí. Vamos a ir por ahí. Dios, qué ñordo está soltando. Con los pantalones puestos, todo hay que decirlo, Dios, vaya mago, tiene un agujero en los pantalones, por eso no se los quita a la hora de cagar. Venga, una silla y balas, seguramente, de la SOCOM. Mírala. Mira, me voy a ir, cómo hace abdominales. Parece que está tirando de la cadena cada vez que se levanta, pero bueno. Y no creo que sea muy cómodo hacer abdominales con un cuchillo en la espalda, en las lumbares, pero tú dale.
Snake, the DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
¿Y de Meryl no le dices nada que la acabas de encontrar? Bueno. Está más mamada que yo. Hombre, no era muy difícil tampoco. Ya te mete un puño, te desinstala el Windows, Mira lo que volteretas que se pega. Qué entrada en escena. Es que mi putísimo padre.
You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Pedazo de mierda.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down.
No tan rápido.
Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information.
Cuéntame.
Okay. We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew?
¿Nani? ¿Que lo sabías?
Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between Arms Tech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data and then proceed to mass production.
Sí, claro. Producción en masa de Metal Gear. Se iba a acabar rápido el mundo. Putas cabezas nucleares andantes. Está bien. Un planazo, la verdad. Ponme 3.
Rex.
Metal Gear Rex.
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
Perdona, joven. Me alegra de que el prisionero le diga al soldado largo: fuera de aquí.
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes.
En realidad son 3, pero lo veremos más adelante.
Baker, the president of Arms Tech.
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
¿Sabes el pajazo mental que me pega al ver y tratar de entender la historia de Metal Gear cuando tenés llaves?
Psychomantis.
Es una fumada muy interesante. Pero bueno, en resumen, Liquid y Solid Snake son clones de The Big Boss, que es el del 3. Es el del 3. Es el del... Bueno, del Phantom Pain no te quiero hacer spoiler por si acaso. Y es el del Metal Gear Peace Walker. Lo que se llame Metal Gear V y no 5 es la pista. No es Metal Gear 5, es Metal Gear V.
The system developers as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Tú te pasas hasta el Ground Zero, pero el Ground Zero no es un juego, es una introducción al Phantom Pain. O sea, dura 2 horas, literalmente. 2 horas haciéndolo todo tiene.
Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door.
Por eso no te quería desvelar, no os quería desvelar lo que pasa en el Phantom Pain porque ya es reciente. 2-3 años, pero relativamente reciente.
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
¡Vámonos! Venga. Las llaves de las puertas de nivel 1.
Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
Bueno, Daniel Anderson, te fuiste a la puta. ¿Ya fuiste?
Hey, what happened?
Y esto. noches.
Dead. Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know.
¿Te pasa, Snake? Estabas muy tranquilo hace 2 segundos.
No,
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you, the Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support.
Ya.
Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
Se fue de vida. ¿Me mata? Esa manta de hostias la acaba de meter, ¿eh? Está ahí. Gracias. Vaya muerte tan convincente, sí. Digamos que estaba preparado. O ha muerto por algo. Yo no he sido.
Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move.
Como le tiemblan las manos.
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful. I'm no rookie.
Dios, menos mal que he encontrado la Socom.
That nervous
Me pregunto si me sacaría una pipa de la nada si no hubiera encontrado la Socom.
You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie.
You're not one of them, are you?
Se viene.
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed.
Vaya.
What are you doing? Don't think. Shoot!
Ah.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
Que dispares.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Normal. Gracias. Y los ha vaciado el cargador, eh. Pareja de puta. Speedruns. Hostias. Pero qué falso, no estaba cerca. Estaba en la puerta. Por favor. Qué mentira más grande. Venga, ábreme la puerta otra vez, anda. Ya puedo solucionarlo de mi PC. Resulta que los hijos de puta me habían metido drivers del chino. ¿Dónde? ¿Por las pantallazas azules, dices? Pero los drivers los instalaste tú. Y lo del Prime lo ha solucionado ya. Que veo que todavía no te sale la corona aún. No la ha recuperado. ¿Puedo disparar? Dios. Ah, que no tengo balas.
Snake, what are you doing? Take care of the bad guys and get the hell out of there.
Me ha tenido que llamar hasta Campbell. ¿Y si no hubiera encontrado pipa, ahora que lo pienso? Me como una mierda aquí, ¿eh?
Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Gracias. Ah. Gracias, Dios. De fuera, ¿eh? Vale. Dios bendito. Meryl, eres una putísima inútil. Y no veas lo que cuesta apuntar con esta manera, ¿eh? Los drivers lo instalaron ellos. ¿Quién? Instalaron ellos los drivers. Dios. ¿Me tengo que estar tragando esto cada vez? Por cierto, he cogido la ración. No. Claro, es que me compré esa mierda de PC. ¿Pero te compraste un PC recientemente? ¿O era ese? Pero los drivers los tienes que ir actualizando cada poco. Prefabricado. Pero bueno, se lo actualizas y ya. Es decir, hay que ir actualizando los drivers. A ver si no se actualizan solos. Granadas, granadas. ¿Ya? Ya está. ¿Cómo se actualiza? ¿Alguna aplicación o programa? Pues tendrás que buscar el fabricante y el modelo del componente. Pero la placa base, por ejemplo, tiene drivers, aparte de la tarjeta gráfica. Cargar los últimos, los instalas y ya. Pero claro, el problema es que como es un prefabricado de mierda, pues igual no sabes qué placa base es, ¿sabes? Ese no era el DARPA Chief. Mira, ha aprendido a disparar. Por cierto, buen plano del culo de Meryl mientras corría. Me ha gustado bastante. Psycho Mantis, míralo. Qué pereza me va a dar tener que matarlo con el teclado. Porque para vencer a este señor había que utilizar el segundo espacio de la Play 1. Había que cambiar el mando de sitio para que no te pegase pantallazos ni te esquivase. Y aquí pues el equivalente es usar el teclado.
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound Psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So that was Mantis.
Correcto. Vale, tenemos... Ahora hay puertas de nivel 1. ¿Qué va? Aquí había balas. Otras aplicaciones de paga que me actualizan los drivers. No hace falta pagar para actualizar los drivers, loco. Ni mucho menos. Esto es de nivel 6. Vale, ya está. Pues vámonos a la segunda planta. Con calma, ¿eh? Bueno, al segundo sótano, mejor dicho. Las aplicaciones me buscan en internet el modelo de los componentes y posteriormente los instalan o actualizan. No. Directamente tú te instalas los drivers. No tienes que descargarte. A ver, depende de la marca, ¿no? Igual los hay que van con aplicación, como el GeForce Experience de Nvidia, que te actualiza los drivers de C4. Que te actualiza los drivers de tarjeta gráfica solos. Podemos poner un poco de C4 aquí. Permiso. ¿Era aquí la pelea contra Ocelot? No parece. Aquí no hay nada más. Aquí era, creo. Tenemos para poner este 4 y aquí también. Vale, la pelea contra Ocelot era aquí, si no recuerdo mal. Correcto. Y ahí tenemos uno de nivel 6. Ah. Y allí tenemos, no sé, C4. Voy a tirar una chaf, que total, no me funciona el radar, así que me da un poco lo mismo. No, que yo digo que hay una aplicación que hace eso pues siempre y cuando la pagues, claro, pero si quieres pagar por tu pereza, tú dale. Pero es tan sencillo como lo puedes hacer gratis. Es tu dinero, tú haz lo que quieras. Granada. Granada. ¿De qué nivel es? 4. No puedo entrar. Preza llega a tamaños de proporciones bíblicas. Pues nada, apagar, apagar. Más C4. De nivel 5. Aquí hay otra pared de estas. Aquí hay otra. C4. ¿Y aquí? Vale, pues listo. No hay nada más. Vámonos. Arriba. Vale, la primera. Wow. Coño, hay un soldado aquí. ¿Está de espalda siempre? Por algún motivo está de espalda. No, no era eso que quería. Ay. Oh, el supresor de la SOCOM. ¿Qué más quiere? ¿Nadie? Coño. ¿Pero dónde salís vosotros? Tío, no me quedan balas. Perfecto. Zigzagueo, zigzagueo, zigzagueo. Bueno, whatever. Es que como te muevas un poquito y hagas el mismo botón que es de estrangular, que es el de hacer la llave, le haces la llave, tío. Como te muevas nada, le haces la puta llave. Buenísima. Empezamos bien. Toma llave. Toma llave. Dos llaves si lo dejas noqueado, ¿eh? Venga, a vuestros sitios. A sus puestos. Vale. A ver si le puedo coger. Vale, guay. Crack. Vale, ahí está el supresor. ¿Qué tal si se lo equipas? Ah, ya. LOL, vaya bugazo. Me aparecía en el inventario el supresor. Nunca lo había visto esto en todas las veces que me lo he pasado. Bueno, a ver si hay que llamar a alguien o qué. Pero bueno. Crack. No sé yo si van a respawnear aquí siquiera, la verdad. La visión térmica para cruzar aquello. Ha respawneado uno. Me cago en tu putísima madre, tío. Qué rabia me da eso. De verdad. Cuando se dan la vuelta tan de repente. Era un problema en esos momentos. Que se daban la vuelta sin más. Sin darte una pista de que, me voy a dar la vuelta. Y tú. Bien. Hostias. Menos mal que no había nadie cerca. Creía que llevaba... Bueno, no quería que llevase la pipa. Quería que iba con los puños. Ahí está, supresor activado. Vamos a ver si hay que llamar a Campbell, a ver si nos dice algo.
President Baker should be somewhere to the south of where you blasted through the wall. Hurry and save him before the terrorists discover his code.
Vale, directamente ya me dice que vaya a por el presidente de la máquina de armamento. Pues listo. Allá voy. A la pelea contra Ocelot. Voy a mirar si hay balas en alguna, porque está un poco pelado de balas. Me gusta que está el mensaje de no fumar. Sí, pues mira, ¿qué parece? Vaya rebelde, ¿eh? Reglas a mí de no fumar. Venga, hombre. Por favor, ¿eh? Vale, había que ir hacia el sur, ha dicho Campbell. Así que hacia el sur nos vamos. Voy a ir poniendo la SOCOM ya. Buenas tardes. ¿Qué tal se encuentra?
Am I too late?
No. De momento no.
He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right?
¿Qué tal si nos presentamos en otro momento?
No, don't touch it.
De cuadro. La paja que está montando el tío. ¿Quién? Y contigo también. No te pongas tonto. Vámonos. Putísimo amo, mi putísimo padre también este señor. ¿Cómo te vas a ir de aquí con un brazo menos? De eso no se habla, no te han comentado eso.
Six bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver.
Ocelot. Dios. Duelo al amanecer. ¡Ah! Dios, le he dado a Baker, perdona. Perdona, Baker, ha sido sin querer. Tío, ¿me ha disparado rebotando por la pared? Aquí, Ocelot. ¿Cómo te estoy puto poniendo, De eso no se habla. ¿Dónde estás? Dios, que me dispara haciendo que la pala reboten. Hala, tu puta casa.
Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up. What?
Dios, cómo te acaban de cortar el brazo, Madre mía. Si yo viera una imagen así de que cortan todos los cables a 2 FPS, también me petaría la cabeza, la verdad.
Stealth camouflage. Can't you even die right? You were lucky.
Me hace gracia que se lleve el brazo. Se lleva el brazo que sujeta el revólver todavía. Esos nervios están tensos aún, Mentira, te llamas Grey Fox, no me engañas. Dios. Tiene depresión crónica. El enemigo de todo ciberninja. Vaya tirones que pega cuando se hace invisible, Curioso, cómo le petardear al juego. Supongo que una 1080 Ti no basta para mover tanto polígono.
The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation code. What about yours?
Oh, I get it. Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
No.
Answer my question.
No soy del
What about
Pentágono.
your code? There's no time.
I talked.
What? Now
Buena.
the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis's mind probe.
He couldn't read you? How'd you do it?
Surgical implants in my brain.
Surgical implants?
Claro.
Kind of like a
Al dolor no tiene
Everyone who
ninguna
knows these top secret codes has it.
tolerancia.
The DARPA chief?
Of course.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis got his code by reading his mind.
Are you sure you heard him right?
Yeah, I'm sure. In that case, how did they get your code?
I never had any training on how to resist torture.
Correcto.
It looks like he had some fun with you, all right.
Oh, he's not human. I tell you, he loved every second of it.
What happened to your arm?
He broke it.
Anda.
Looks like you're more than even now. His was sliced off.
Ha, you're a funny man.
El tuyo está roto, al se lo han cortado, no te preocupes. El tuyo se curará.
What? I can't be. Get
¿Pero qué haces? Que no me des con el bastón, te da una patada en la puta mandíbula. El tío dándome con el puto garrote.
I didn't kill the DARPA chief. He had a heart attack or something.
A heart attack? Oh, don't be a fool.
Anyway, the terrorists have both codes now.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree, but what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
No, not anymore.
What? Who does then? Not the terrorists?
No, that woman.
Woman? Who?
A soldier that was thrown in prison along with me.
A female soldier, it must be.
She said she had just joined up as a new recruit. They threw her in prison because she refused to take part in the rebellion.
A new recruit? Could that be the Colonel's niece?
I gave her the key. Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she is. She's green, but as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
She's green. No sabía que la frase hecha de está verde, como que es una novata todavía, se utilizaba exactamente igual en inglés, literalmente. Está verde. Diría que se diría de otra manera.
What frequency was she at?
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, it's
¿Cómo te vas a morir antes de darme la frecuencia de Meryl,
Sorry, I forgot.
¡Ah! Dios, puto inútil el viejo. Mátalos. Ponlo, sácalo de su miseria ya. Detrás de la caja del CD. Esto eran en sus días. Esto lo hacían para evitar el pirateo. Es decir, como no había el internet que hay hoy, ahora ya da igual, lo buscas y lo encuentras. Pero antiguamente pusieron la frecuencia de Meryl en la caja del Metal Gear Solid de la Play 1 y aparecía ahí la frecuencia. Lo tenías que ir a buscar ahí en ese momento. Ahora lo buscaremos por internet y lo encontramos y ya está.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been.
Puedo dejar el mando, conociendo a Hideo.
Plutonium is increasing even today. Listen, have you ever seen a warehouse full of nuclear material?
No.
Drums and drums of nuclear waste stacked this high, as far as you can see, because there's still no real way to dispose of the stuff.
So they just close the lid and try to pretend like it'll go away?
Essentially, yes. And they're not even doing a good job of storing it. Many of the drums are corroded, with nuclear waste seeping out of them.
Unbelievable.
Not only that, but several pounds of muff are reported every year.
Muff?
It stands for material unaccounted for. It proves that there's a large and well-organized black market in nuclear materials. Furthermore, since the end of the Cold War, Russian nuclear engineers in particular are out of work with no way to turn. In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb. We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
You mean Metal Gear?
Yes. You know our industry suffered quite a blow as a result of the cuts in military budgets due to this so-called peace.
I remember hearing a lot about mergers and takeovers among the big weapons makers.
Yes, and after my company lost their bid to produce the Air Force's next line of fighter jet, the Metal Gear system was our last ace in the hole. That's why we pushed to have Metal Gear developed as a black project.
Black project?
Secret projects paid for by the Pentagon's black budget. You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business. Anyway, Metal Gear was going to be formally adopted after the results of this exercise were analyzed.
I don't give a crap about you and your company.
Yes, that's about what I'd expect from a grunt like you. Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise.
Dios, un disquete.
Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss. I'll give you my card too. It'll open up all security level 2
Vámonos.
doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
You know him?
Más o
You should
menos.
ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She
Naomi.
knows better than I.
Naomi.
You've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
No me puede importar menos tu
Doesn't Metal
compañía.
Gear use currently existing technology?
Metal Gear itself does, but
Otro. Nah, otro que se va al pozo.
what did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
Pues ya está. Otro que se va al pozo.
What the hell? Colonel, are you listening? Now he's dead too.
I have no idea.
Don't lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example, potassium chloride or dioxides, but we won't be able to tell without doing an autopsy.
Damn!
Snake, I want you and Meryl to work together.
Can I trust her?
More than you can trust me.
Venga.
Get in
Nos
contact
fiaremos de
with
ella.
her.
Snake, there's a lot of electrical interference coming from there. It should be okay if you do burst transmission like us, but normal transmission is probably impossible. Try moving away from that area.
Sí, señora.
Snake, get a hold of yourself.
Naomi, what the hell was that ninja thing? A member of Foxhound?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no one like that in our unit.
Is that right?
Snake, I'm counting on you.
¿No está hablando contigo o no está hablando contigo? Vale. Pues vámonos. Nuestra tarjeta de nivel 2. Para aquí ya hay guardias. Granadas. Balas de la SOCOM. Ups. Vale. La FORMAS. Vámonos. A dormir. Dame una ration, anda. Lástima. Me habría gustado que me diera una racioncilla. Oh. Pasado largo. Estoy de nivel 5. Un granate. la otra que había? Balas, supongo. Vale. Debería guardar a todo esto. Apenas he guardado. Vale. Hay que buscar la frecuencia para llamar a Meryl. Vale. Es la garganta profunda es el 140-15. Deep throat, más que garganta profunda, pero vale. 140,15. Vale. Oh. Me la torres. 140,15 he dicho, ¿no? Ahí está.
I was really impressed with the way you busted yourself out of there.
The one from the prison?
You're the Colonel's niece, Meryl, right?
No, it's not him. Just exactly who are you?
I'm the fool that your uncle sent all alone into the middle of this whole mess.
You came by yourself? You think you're some kind of one-man army?
Más o menos.
I don't need lectures. You're just like your uncle, you know?
How do you know my uncle?
We go way back.
What's your name?
My name's not important.
Aha. Could you be Snake? Are you Solid Snake?
That's what some people call me.
The legendary Solid Snake? You? Sorry about before. I wasn't sure if you were one of the good guys.
But I knew you were.
How?
It's your eyes.
My
Míralo,
eyes.
tirándole fichas
They're
también.
not
Dios,
soldier's eyes.
Snake, por favor,
And
deja
they're
de intentar
rookies'
ligarse,
eyes, right?
ligarte todo lo que está
They're
caliente.
beautiful, compassionate eyes.
Oh, just what I'd expect from the legendary Solid Snake. You trying to sweep me off my feet?
Don't worry, you'll land back on them once you meet me. The reality is no match for the legend, I'm afraid.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Why did you look so surprised when you saw my face?
Because you look just like him.
You mean the terrorist leader, Liquid Snake?
Yeah, you know him? You're not brothers, are you?
I have no family.
So what's the deal then?
Who knows? Why don't you ask him? But first I want some information. You were involved in this exercise from the beginning. What exactly happened here?
I'm sorry. I was captured along with President Baker right after the terrorist attack.
That's okay. But what is this place? I don't think it's just a nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Boy, oh boy, it's just like them. Nobody told you anything, did they? Okay, you see, this place isn't really for disposing nuclear weapons. This base is owned and operated by a dummy corporation of arms tech.
This is a civilian base?
Right.
Yeah.
The development of Metal Gear.
Colonel.
Foxhound and the Next Generation Special Forces were called here for the test
Vaya
launch
Snake,
of a
parece
dummy
que te han
nuclear
vuelto a
warhead.
mentir, ¿eh?
Why Foxhound?
Because they're a special ops group used to handling top secret missions. They figured they could help keep it all hush-hush.
But we must have fired nuclear warheads before. Why just this time?
I heard it was because this was to be a final test before the formal adoption of the Metal Gear program. Well, that's what I heard anyway.
Sounds kind of fishy. So what do you think the terrorists want?
Sorry, I'm not sure. I was captured with President Baker right after the revolt started.
Oh yeah, that's when he gave you the detonation code override keys, right?
That's right.
Amazing you were able to keep them hidden from the guards.
Well, women have more hiding places than men.
¡Ah!
Anyway, you met Baker, huh?
Dios.
How's he holding up?
He's dead.
What?
Cómo estaba de
Heart
dilatada.
attack. Same as the DARPA chief.
The chief died from a heart attack too?
Yeah. Was either of them sick or anything?
No, not that I heard of.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences. Something funny's going on.
Sounds like it, but I have no idea what.
Me neither. Yet. Do you know the person who designed Metal Gear?
You mean Dr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Emmerich
Is he still
Otakan.
alive?
Probably.
Viene de otaku y de conferencia.
Second floor basement of the nuclear warhead storage building to the north.
Second floor basement.
Yeah, that's where his lab is. I think they're forcing him to work on the nuclear launching program.
So they'll need him alive until that's done anyway.
Then we better do something before he finishes.
You're right. In case we can't override the detonation code in time, I need to ask him how to destroy Metal Gear.
You plan to take that thing on by yourself, Snake?
It won't be the first time.
Oh.
What's the best way to get to the building where the doctor is being held?
There's a cargo door on the first floor of this building that leads to the north.
What's the security level?
Es donde habrá que pasar.
5.
Que nos abrirá ya la puerta.
Okay, I've got a level 5 card.
El 5, ¿sabes?
I've got to go
Nosotros
save
tenemos
the
nivel 2.
doctor. You should go.
I'm going with you.
No way. You're still too green. I want you to hide somewhere.
I'm not green.
Oh, yes, you are.
Dios, que no.
You pause for just 1 second in front of your enemy and it's all over. Good luck doesn't last forever.
I don't know what happened. I just couldn't pull the trigger right away. I never had any problems in training, but when I thought about my bullets tearing through those soldiers' bodies, I hesitated.
Shooting at targets and shooting at living, breathing people are different.
Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed about being a soldier.
Dios, tienes un problema en la cabeza, Mail. Si desde pequeña ya querías ser soldado.
Dios.
¿Cómo te ha comido la cabeza la patria, El nacionalismo. Wow, quiero ser soldado, me quiero sacrificar por mi patria.
Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. In a war, all of mankind's worst emotions, worst traits come out. It's easy to forget what a sin is in the middle of a battlefield.
But this isn't a war. It's a terrorist action.
You're just a little jumpy from the combat high. The adrenaline in your bloodstream is starting to thin out. Just take it easy.
But I learned all about combat high at the academy.
We'll talk about it later. For now, just think about keeping yourself alive.
If I get out of here alive, I'll think about that other stuff.
Okay. Let me try to say this another way. Stay the hell out of my way.
Vaya, sutil.
You're a real bastard. Just like my uncle said.
Huh. I told you. The real me is no match for the legend.
It looks like you were right. I'll be a good girl.
No hace gracia.
We'll link up after I grab the doctor. Then we'll take care of the detonation code override.
Gotcha. But listen, I know this area better than you. Call me if you have any questions.
Be careful, okay?
No te preocupes, Meryl, yo controlo.
After I open up the cargo door, I'll contact you.
Venga, pues. Ábreme la puerta. Meryl, ábreme la puerta. Por cierto, por arriba creo que había puertas de nivel 2. No recuerdo mal. Correcto. ¡Dios! Tenemos la caja. Míralo. Dios. Increíble. ¿Qué más he cogido? ¿El scope? No. Mira las famas, no sabía que no podías disparar tumbado. O sea, agachado no puedes disparar. Dios, por favor, gracias. Ábreme la puerta. Has tardado,
Don't move around too much.
Don't worry, I'm disguised in this enemy uniform.
You won't be for long with the way you walk.
What does that mean?
Que tienes unas caderas bastante anchas, eso es lo que quiero decir. Me gusta esa cinturita muy... de forma estrambólica.
Okay, So we'll meet at the nuclear warhead storage building.
Wait, you said you'd stay put and be a good girl.
I changed my mind.
Ya mentido.
Get careless. That's when things always turn sour.
Sorry, but this is the only way I can figure out whether or not I'm cut out to be a soldier. I gotta get my hands dirty.
These guys are professionals. You're gonna get yourself killed.
See you there.
Vas a conseguir que te maten y con ello vas a conseguir que a mí me pillen y me maten también. No te podías quedar quietecita. Vale, por aquí había otra puerta, pero creo que esta no era... Pero tío, te he matado antes, ¿eh? ¿De qué nivel es esta puerta? ¿De qué nivel es esta puerta? Me ha visto. Quedo aquí. Nivel 4. Vale. Y esa estaba abierta. Vale, pues nada. Vamos para abajo. Me venían bien unas ricas raciones. ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Por qué se queda jorobado cuando lleva la pipa? No veo. Ahí. Dame una ración, please. No, balas no. Vale.
Be careful, Snake. That airlock is set with infrared sensors. You probably can't see them with your naked eyes, but there are infrared beams coming out of that wall. Touch any one of them, and the doors will seal off, and the place will be flooded with poison gas. Somehow you've got to get through without setting off those sensors.
Oye, aquí es donde...
Be careful, Snake.
Ya me lo has dicho. Aquí sería donde, si no hubiéramos conseguido la vista térmica... Ahí están. Habría que utilizar los cigarrillos, que se ven bastante menos. Dios, es que... Se detecta muy mal, la perspectiva. Bueno, vamos a morir. No pasa nada. Raudo y veloz. Me hace gracia porque están en modo combate. Dios, no. No pasa nada. Venga, va, que me quiero enfrentar al tanque de Vulcan Raven. Ya me lo has dicho. Me parece gracioso que esta sea de nivel 2 y la otra sea de nivel 5, la verdad. O sea, ponme las dos de nivel 5. Vale, cuidado porque por esto está lleno de claymores. Me llama Deep Throat antes.
Be careful. There are claymore mines around there. Use a mine detector.
Who are you?
Just call me Deep Throat.
Deep
Buen nombre.
Throat. The informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby?
Listen, there's a tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
Who are you anyway?
¿Y cómo me va a emboscar igualmente, Vale, vamos a pillar las claymores. Dice, usa un detector de metales. ¿Ya está? Sí. Ahí está, Vulcano Cuervo.
snakes don't belong in Alaska.
Toda la
I
razón.
will not let you pass. Send him a message.
Madre de Dios, Snake esquivando balas de tanque.
That's right. You belong on the ground. You should crawl on the ground like the snake you are.
Tranquilito, Vulcan. No te voy a partir la puta cabeza a ti y a tu tanque de mierda. Vale. Granadas. Granadas. ¡Hala! Yo no tengo rations, La primera me la he comido con patatas. Hay un problema y es que no tenemos raciones. ¿Me puedo acercar? Pero es que están lejísimos, cabrón. Me tengo que acercar para tirar las granadas. Tenemos un problema y es que no tenemos raciones. Ahora se ven bien las raciones. Antes se veían, ponía 9 clay, como se habían quedado bugueadas. Ya me lo has dicho antes, no hace falta que te repitas. ¿Alguna ración por aquí? Estaría bien. ¡Oh! ¿Una Claymore? Sí. Vale. ¿Estamos full vida? Ok. Si tiro una chaff, ¿valdrá? Sí, vale. Toma, cógeme eso. Oh, oh. Toma. Y ya está. 2 granadas en el punto perfecto y listo. Carta de nivel 3.
Well, boss, I hope you are happy. He got the card.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
What did you think of him?
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon. Much like you, I would expect no less.
See? I told you so.
Pero coño, si sois clones.
So, General Ivan, I hear he took your hand as well as your dignity.
Watch your tongue, shaman.
In the language of the Sioux people, Sioux means snake. It is known as an animal to be feared.
Well, Snake is mine now. When I meet him next, I'll take special care of him.
Not yet. Don't kill him yet.
He and I will meet again in battle.
Same prediction as always?
Hombre.
Yes, the raven on my head. It thirsts for his blood.
Los tengo que reventar a todos, por supuesto. Un poquito más de vida. No mucha más, pero... Una racioncita. Vale, perfecto. Pues me parece que lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí. El próximo día continuaremos por la zona esta, por las reservas de cabezas nucleares. Así que un saludo, queridos papadafílicos, y nos vemos.